Presidents no one cares about, no one gives a shit about. Part 2. If you haven't seen part 1, I'd watch that first. We're going to be talking about a lot of topics that I don't feel like explaining a second time. I was debating on which president I wanted to start with, and I was going to put the cool ones towards the end, just so I get the watch retention, save the best for last, as you should. I don't give a shit about any of that. I don't care what happens with this channel. We're going to go straight to the GOAT. Okay, the most underrated president in U.S. history, in my personal opinion, and that would be James K. Polk. What did Polk do as president, though? Well, here's a map of the United States before Polk was president, and here's a map afterwards. In one term. So basically an overall view of Polk. You know how every president has this to-do list when they get into office? I want to do this thing, I want to do that thing, I want to do that thing, and you notice how none of that ever happens? Not once. Has that ever happened? This was the only time that happened. Polk got everything he wanted to get done. So we had a little bit of a cliffhanger with Tyler in the last video. Tyler fucked a lot of shit up. Oh no. Polk comes out of nowhere and just says, hey, I'm gonna run one term, and then I'll get the fuck out of here. I'm just gonna go fix some shit, and then you can kick me out. You can get someone else. The moment he gets in office, he just starts gunning for the Oregon Territory. The entire Pacific Northwest. We got a bunch of Americans killing beavers up there and a bunch of Brits killing beavers up there. I don't want the Brits there anymore. Get them out. He negotiates very similar to Trump, where he'll be like, I'm gonna kill every one of you if you don't get the fuck out of Oregon. That forces the Brits to be like, yeah, we don't really want a war right now. Can we come to some kind of compromise? And that's how it played out. Texas is its own country at this point, kind of. Mexico doesn't see it as its own country, very similar to Taiwan and China today. I'm using a lot of modern references. They just see them as the annoying teenager who's rebelling right now. They'll come back around. But then the U.S. comes in and says, hey, we're going to kidnap him. They kidnapped Texas. Can you believe this? So Mexico's fucking pissed now. They're throwing threats our way. Hey, Polk, we're going to fuck you up for that one. You're being a real meanie. Polk calls their bluff and just starts sending troops into Mexico. Now, these troops are not supposed to fire on the Mexicans. They're just supposed to wait for some stupid Mexican kid to fire on them. That's how the Mexican-American War started. It was a geopolitical version of hit me, pussy. And now we have California, Nevada, Arizona, New Mexico, Nevada, Utah, most of Arizona, the western half of New Mexico, the western quarter of Colorado, the southwest corner of Wyoming, parts of Oklahoma, and Kansas. That's what we got. On top of that, he did a lot more things, very boring political things that no one really cares about, but a lot of stuff that was really important too. Whatever. And keep in mind, I'm going to say it one more time. He did this in one term. 4 years. As long as Biden was fucking president. Nothing against Joe Biden. I mean, can we talk shit about Biden on here? Is that cool? Can I do that? Tell me down in the comments. I shit myself. No, all he cared about was getting shit done, making the country better, other than slavery. Other than that. He does all this stuff, he checks off everything on his presidential to-do list, and then he dies. It's done. I did my job. I'm doing these out of order, but I am going to do Zachary Taylor next, who was the next president after Polk. A very short presidential term, didn't really do much. He was mostly just known for being a war hero, as a lot of presidents are. Now, we talked a lot in the last video about how slavery is the biggest issue of this time period. No one can get anything done. We can't do fucking anything because is my mic on? The main thing you got to think about with Taylor is, hey, Polk just got all this new territory in the matter of 4 years. Do they have slaves or not? What do we do here? If we allow slavery in these new territories, then people are going to be mad and they're going to start killing each other. If we don't allow slavery in these new territories, people are going to be mad and they're going to start killing each other. What do we do? Zachary Taylor's only idea is to just instantly make these new territories states. That way, it's their fucking problem. There's a common misconception that I was guilty of in the last video where I said Zachary Taylor was pro-slavery. He actually just owned slaves, but as president, he was pretty opposed to it. So he's pretty open about his opposition to slavery, and, our friend in the South Carolina, they never cause any problems for the growth of this country. Yeah, they threaten to secede. They say, we're not going to be a state anymore. Zachary Taylor threatens to hang every last person from South Carolina. Not every last one. Maybe. I don't know. Even the paralyzed kids. Even the slaves. Let's hang the slaves, too. I don't care. Fuck them all. We're a family. You don't leave us. I'll kill you all. Even the kids with Down syndrome. That's what that and then he died. He just died a year into office. That's Zachary Taylor. He was a cool guy. He was a really cool guy. Other than the owning slaves. They're all like that. You gotta say that with all of them. They all fucking own slaves, okay? We're sorry. We're fucking sorry. Damn. Fuck. I didn't do it. Let's go back in time. I like being out of order. Let's go to Martin Van Buren. The thing to know about Van Buren is he's just a ridiculously smart guy. He's just a fucking genius when it comes to the technicalities of politics and the economy, all this shit. So before this, there's no real political parties, right? There's technically Federalist and shit like that, but really there's no political party. Everyone just fucking hates each other. No one agrees with anyone. What's the fucking solution to this? And you guys are gonna hate this. It's the two-party system. It's creating a party and having a group that has certain set beliefs and another group that has kind of opposing beliefs. That creates a lot more organization in the disagreement. Does that make sense? His idea is to create this political party around this really popular guy named Andrew Jackson, knowing that this wouldn't just create a one-party system where everyone has to vote Democrat. No, he knew people were going to hate this party at some point. He knew there would be a need for a secondary party that opposes the Democrats. Naturally, that will happen, and that became the Whig Party. I realized I was kind of making it seem like this was all Van Buren's idea to create this party. There's a lot of guys involved here that have the same idea. Calhoun, guys like that. They're all coming together to build this new party around Jackson because the Democratic-Republican Party was all fucked up and everyone hated each other. Not trying to use another modern reference, but it's very similar to how, like the exact same thing as how a lot of Republicans don't like Trump. But a lot of Republicans do. The faction that liked Jackson broke off to go become the Democratic Party. No, because it keeps things balanced, man. Think about it. If some of these Democrats at the time had their way, all the states would have slaves. Everyone can own slaves. You can go buy a slave at Walmart if you want to. You needed other parties like the Republican Party to come in there and say, hey, we ain't fucking with this slave shit. Democratic presidents at this time notoriously get a little power crazy when they're in office. So you need that Whig Party to come in and say, you can't be doing that, man. It's a very smart system at the time. I realized how bad of a job I did at explaining those two parties overall. I'm new to the history videos. This is new to me, and I'm figuring it out. It's going well, but sometimes I gotta butt in here and say, there were two parties before this, okay? I never said that one time. There were two parties. There were Federalist and Democratic Republicans, as we explained earlier. They're just insanely unorganized and falling apart. Everyone has different beliefs in every one of the, you gotta come in and make a new party that's really organized and everyone has set beliefs. Like slavery is fucking rad. We can have that. That way another party comes in and says, I don't like slavery. And then oppose it, that's how we get shit done. Fuck, dude, I'm trying, okay? This is confusing shit, I know. I'm trying to, simplify this down. Stay with me. There's more pussy jokes and racist shit coming, okay? I promise. I keep my promises like Pulk, motherfucker. He's one of these guys that did everything before he was president. He didn't do much as president. He wanted Jackson to be president because he knew Jackson was fucking cool. Everyone would love him. He's a fucking jock. Van Buren's just a little 5'6" nerd that does all the work behind the scenes, right? When Jackson gets out of office, he goes, hey, I fucking love this little guy, okay? This guy's awesome. This is my dude. This is my bro. And everyone loves Jackson, right? Everyone fucking loves Jackson. So, obviously, Van Buren's getting right in. They trust Jackson. I've been talking good about him, but he's also Jackson's boy. He fucking hates Native Americans, man. He's a very cautious guy, right? Very calculated, strategic, thinks about everything he does before he does it. When he gets in office, though, he's just like, no, fucking get those guys out of here. So, the story of Van Buren is really that. There was a fucking economic crisis during his presidency that he dealt with, but how many fucking presidents have done that? Do you guys really want me to talk economics here? Or do you guys want me to tell pussy jokes and be racist? Because I think you guys want me to be racist, right? Oh! I'm not going to be racist. I'm joking. All my black brothers out there. All right. Going forward, James Buchanan. Doesn't he just look like a piece of shit? Look at this guy. He's known for being the worst president, and they're not wrong. A lot of the time, historians are very wrong about these guys. Where I like how I say that as if I'm better than these historians. The Democratic Party is very hands-off. They let the people do what the fuck they want to do. They definitely let the states do what they want to do. States' rights. But there are times in our history where we needed a very hands-on government, a more authoritarian stance. Such as a time where our country is more divided than it ever has been. Such as a time, where we're enslaving people. Maybe you step in a little bit there. Buchanan's the exact opposite of that. Buchanan fucking hates conflict. He's a pussy. I want to respect these guys as the guys that built our country. Buchanan's a pussy. He fucking hated abolitionists. Not because they were against slavery, no, because they caused conflict. They got him upset, and they made him stressed out because I thought we were all friends. He's a pussy. You gotta start a war over this shit at this point. All these presidents fucked this shit up so bad that there had to be a war at this point. And no president realized that until Lincoln. In the first video, we talked a lot about how no one wants to fuck with the slavery issue. It's too much of a hassle. Buchanan is the absolute worst about this. At the worst time that he could have been the worst about this. The South is so upset because they think the government is gonna abolish slavery. Let's pass the Dred Scott ruling. None of them, they're not citizens. Let's make the South happy. Oh, but now the North is mad because of that. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to. This is Buchanan. I know I'm annoying the shit out of you with this voice right now. Imagine if that was president. He's a weak pussy. Let this be a lesson, man. You can't get shit done without conflict. If you try to make everyone happy, everyone's gonna hate you. And you're not gonna get anything done. Everything's just gonna be these stupid fucking compromises that get us nowhere. You have to have a strong leader who's willing to kill lots of people for a just reason. Finally, after this long journey of shit presidents, just shit after shit after shit, Lincoln comes in, finally fixes the slavery issue. Alright, Rutherford B Hayes. Now, I'm not gonna lie to you guys. This one's rough. There's nothing here. He fucking stopped a big conflict in South America. The big thing with Hayes, and really the only thing we're going to talk about here, is the stupid shit that happened right at the start of his presidency. Rutherford B Hayes is a Republican. The guy he's running against, Tilden, is a Democrat. Now keep in mind, at this time, Republicans are very opposed to the oppression of black people. Racism. The Democrats are like, fuck it. Now, these guys run the most contested election in American history, pretty much. It is so fucking close. Tons of accusations of voter fraud from a lot of Southern Democrat states saying that, hey, he fucking bought the election. The Jews did it. The fucking Jews did it. So what's the compromise? Yes, there's another compromise. Since the Civil War, there's a bunch of Union troops in the South, like making sure no one's killing black people. No fucking uprisings are happening and killing black people. The Republican Party says, hey, if you let him be president, we'll take those guys out of there. What? Can you guys believe what happened next? The Ku Klux Klan? Before they were all government informants? Can you believe that would happen? I mean, that's basically it. I'm sure you guys are going to be in the comments like, well, Rutherford B Hayes did this, and he did that, and he did that thing as well. Alright, you guys have been waiting for this one. Calvin Coolidge. For some reason, I feel like everyone knows Calvin Coolidge as being the cool, forgotten president. I mean, he's fucking cool as shit, but I don't have a lot of subject matter here. He didn't do much. That's kind of what he's known for. It's the roaring 20s. Everything's going well, right? There's totally nothing bad coming in the next 2 decades. So something to really note here, social justice issues, rights for black people, rights for gay people, rights for women, all this kind of stuff, only really gets worked on when everything's really good. It sucks, but that's just fucking true. Unless these things really affect the economy or something huge that really affects the government, these issues aren't getting worked on. Unless everything else going on is amazing, and that's Calvin Coolidge's presidency. He's a big-time social justice guy. He finally gave Native Americans their citizenship. Basically, before this, a Native American born in this country was not an American citizen. Can you believe that shit? That's some wild shit. We finally fixed that. We talked about the KKK rising up. At this point, they're getting bigger. Coolidge is one of the first presidents to come out and say, these guys are a real issue, and we need to deal with them. Let's make some of them government informants. And now they're all government informants. He didn't actually make them government informants. That's not documented. Coolidge's presidency is literally just, fuck it. There's nothing to do. Like, look at this. These are just things that he did while in office. He took up fishing, took up horseback riding, took up walking in urban areas, made dry jokes to his wife. Oh yeah, he had a bunch of animals. He had a raccoon, and he had some lions and shit. When everything's good, you start doing crazy shit, man. That's what I would do if everything was good. But no, we're close to being a second world country, and I need money. Historians will say that a lot of Coolidge's policies led to the Great Depression. I'm not qualified to talk on that, okay? I'm not an economist. I don't know. Chill guy, very chill, didn't say much, just kind of sat there, worked on social justice issues. Anything that still needed to be done with this country. So Coolidge might have caused the Great Depression. He might not have. Who fucking knows? No one actually knows economic stuff. Someone who everyone thinks caused the Great Depression for some reason is Herbert Hoover. And he didn't cause the Great Depression. He just didn't help. He kind of just thought that it would work itself out. That's actually what he thought. He thought it would be fine. I'll just chill. Hoover is such a big believer in the free market and the lack of government within everyone's daily lives that he's just like, I can't really do much here, okay? Why don't we tell all the businesses, just don't raise your wages, don't raise your prices. That's what I would do if I was playing City Skylines, dude. I don't know how any of this shit works. Neither did Hoover. Neither does anyone. A big saying from him is the populace needs to stay strong and self-reliant. Thanks, dickhead. I'm being an asshole. There really wasn't much he could do. We're still in a time period where the presidents don't have that much power. Outside of the Great Depression, because that's all Hoover's really known for. He was an orphan. He had a tragic life. Parents died when he was very young, and he was given to Quakers. Because of this, he's a really introverted guy. He's really shy, and I personally think this led to a lot of his political beliefs, where he's like, I don't really want to fuck with it. I'm gonna fuck it up. I'm scared. I'm gonna fuck it up. I'm gonna fuck up the economy even more if I try to fuck with it. I don't want to. I'm scared. Yeah, sorry. Those last two guys, I feel like I was very lackluster on. It just, there wasn't that much to talk about, you know? But we did it. We got through all these forgotten presidents that no one gives a shit about. I'm glad you guys watched both videos. That's crazy. I don't know why you did that. I appreciate it. Genuinely, I do. These videos take a lot of research and it's not like I just know all of this stuff. I know some stuff, but as far as getting enough information for a video like this, it takes a lot of time. So, I appreciate you watching.